Good morning, everyone, and very warm welcome in this rainy and cold day here in Dallas. We are in Tapasya Dham, our retreat place. And thank you so much who are physically here and also um, appreciating everyone who are joining from the other side of the world and from here on the Saturday morning. And it is my honor to introduce our guest speaker today, Sister Vered. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing right. And today is our ongoing purity series, and the topic is a power to flower. And Sister Vered is a professional in the field of early childhood education, which is ages from 3 to 8. And through her 33 years of teaching in kindergarten, she has crafted a new value based methodology called the Power to Flower, inspired by the UN initiative Living Values. Power to Flower includes creative games and activities for children and emotional tools for teachers to enable an atmosphere of respect, peace, and love. She has been teaching this approach with great success for the last 15 years. She has also written two children's books and created a game based on this methodology. She is also certified as a parenting consultant and has been a practicing Raj Yogi for the last 20 years. Welcome, Sister Vered. It is our honor. And I'm gonna now introduce Philippa. She is our moderator for today. Welcome, Sister Philippa. And she is joining from London. And she is a journalist and radio presenter, having worked for BBC Radio in the UK for many years, including 7 years as one of the voices of Women's Hour. She is now the coordinator of a national project, the 100 Women of Spirit, which recognizes the spiritual contribution to society made by women. She is an ordained interfaith minister and has studied Raj Yoga meditation with the Brahma Kumaris for more than 40 years. So it's very, very warm welcome from all of us, Sister Verde and Sister Philippa. And now I'm welcoming Sister Ranjan, who is gonna take care from here.
Hello, Sister Reed.
Hello.
Thank
Here
you
it's
for
good
accepting
evening.
thank you for accepting our invitation and being with us to share your beautiful experiences and your teachings. And so we're really going to enjoy your session, your dialogue with Sister Philippa. Sister Philippa, thank you for joining with us. And you always are ever ready for this dialogue. And I really appreciate that you make time from your busy schedule and you are always enjoying and making so many people happy to do this dialogue every month. So today we have a Raj Yoga retreat going on, and we are all at our retreat place, and we have audience in the hall and all those who are watching you. So thank you for joining. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Ranjan. It's always a real pleasure and honor to join you all in Dallas, and I do it because I love doing it, and I love meeting the guests that you choose every month. For the past 2 or 3 years, I'm not sure. Time does funny things, but it's been a long time.
3 years
And how many years?
3 plus 3.
It's more than 3
plus a
years.
month, right?
It is. And I'm going to be joining you in Dallas in a couple of months' time. So I'm really looking forward to being with you all in person. And Sister Verad, it really is lovely to have you join us, and we really look forward to what you have to say. So very warm welcome to you.
So thank you and good morning, everyone. Here it's evening and it's amazing, Israel, England, United States, all together in one Zoom. It's amazing. So thank you really for this opportunity.
And I'm very happy because here in the UK we have a very warm and sunny day. So it's not often we have good weather when you're having rain. So I don't know how it is in Israel, but yeah, we are spanning the world in today's program. And Vered, you are of course living in the main center in Israel, just about 20 minutes outside of Tel Aviv. And you have all been very much in our thoughts in the last couple of months with everything that's going on. And we can only imagine what it's like to live with that extra tension and anxiety. But I don't want to start with your current living situation because I think we would be there all day. Because what we're talking about today is the joy of early years and young children. And I think I'm right, Ranjan, in saying that in all these 3 years, we've never actually done a program about children. I think I'm right in saying that. And of course, young children carry more purity than any of us adults ever can, because they don't even know about impurity. They don't know about, wrong thinking or manipulative or devious thinking. They naturally are open, loving, accepting, and pure. So, Vered, what was it about children that made you want to work with them in the very beginning? Was it a conscious decision to work with them?
It was absolutely a conscious decision because of their purity. I thought I wanted to be either a nurse or a kindergarten teacher. And then I said, no, it's too heavy. It's too painful to be a nurse. I want a joy. I want to be surrounded by happy, laughter, creative environment. And I am happy that I did this decision, even though I still feel that to be a nurse is a very important part to play. But that was my role, to be a kindergarten teacher.
So, tell us about the importance of those early years. Why do we need to place a very strong emphasis on getting it right as much as we can in those first 7, 8 years?
Yeah, that's amazing because those little children are so easy to hold and easy to, let's say, influence on a positive way, either also on a negative way. But it's actually, I don't know, it's sculpture the spirit of the soul before going to adult age. It's really very important age to put the imprint of the personality on the soul.
And
So
yeah,
yeah,
how do you answer people who say that in a way you're giving them a false sense of the world by creating this beautiful environment where there's peace and love and kindness and respect, when we know that as they go up higher in the school and as they start going out into the world, that's not what they're going to experience. In a
yeah.
way, are we not setting them up for disappointment?
That's a very good question, but actually, why not? Why not to give them this safety, secure, good environment which they can enjoy? Because if they have a good experience in their early years, they carry it with them. They carry it with them for sure, because we plant the seeds from early age. So we know life is tough, world is even worse, but if we give the basic, which is good, they can handle a very difficult world in a better way, for
And
sure.
I guess by giving them a strong inner life and opening up the world of imagination, then you're giving them something that they can draw on in difficult times as they go
Definitely,
through adolescence and teenage
definitely.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as Sister Ranjan said, about 15 years ago, you became involved in a UN project called Living Values, and you decided to bring this into the work that you do in the kindergarten, helping children see the goodness and the qualities that they have in themselves and that they can identify in other people. How did you go about setting that up? And how did you get children to think in this way of qualities and values?
Mhm. Basically, the first 15 years of my work was a joy. Was really, I really enjoy working with the kids, but by the years, it become harder. We know kids become more hyperactive, more problem of autism, more problem of allergies, and it affect the kids' behavior. So at the beginning, I was very good kindergarten teacher, which worked for my values, but slowly, as the group become more challenging and their parents also become more challenging, I start to be impatient, um, even angry sometimes, and I didn't like myself this way. So I was in a point that I said, okay, either you leave this job because you're not doing it as the high aim you gave yourself, or you take yourself to see what happened to you. So luckily, I enter into the Raj Yoga Life course. I took the course, and the first thing that I really enjoy is the fact that they told me, you are good, to me. Even though I was at that time a bit angry, a bit impatient, I start to remember I am good. I am good. So with this consciousness, I start to work with the kids. I'm good, you're good. Even though the behavior now is not so good. So luckily, I took it very seriously, the Raj Yoga courses, and I went to a retreat in Oxford for myself just to improve it and to hold it much stronger so I can be a good teacher for those kids. And in between the sessions, someone came into and told me that my session starts. So I went to the room that my session starts, and I ended up by coincidence in a session of the UN Living Values. And I was like, how did I ended up being in this room? So Gayatri Ben at that moment was conducting the session, and she said, you can stay. And I stayed, and I was like shocked because it was like 60, 70 people from all over the world, teacher, managers of schools and all this, and they did activities. I did not understand anything at that moment. I was just attracted to the vibrations that was in the room. And from that point, I left the room and I said, I have to bring it to Israel. I don't know what is it. So I took the books. I just review briefly and I start to work very simple on the basic. The basic was just see the goodness, talk about the goodness, and uplift in you and in the children. And it went magic. And that's how it starts.
So what did you begin doing with the children, and what was the reaction from your colleagues in the school?
The children, what I do was very simple. I just was kind of watching them, kind of, let's say, ignoring the negativity too much and looking for good acts of the children. And when I catch a good acts of the children, I brought it as a story to the class. For example, if someone fell in the playground and someone come and help him and lift him and took him to wash his face or whatever, I bring it as a story. If someone, if I came with a heavy thing to the kindergarten and someone opened the door for me immediately and helped me to carry it, I brought it as a story. And I realized that the kids are very attentive to the stories. So I didn't only brought the story, I brought the kid that was with this elevated behavior, and I said, you know what I saw in you? I saw in you caring. I saw in you friendship. You helped your friend when he was in trouble. I saw respect when you opened the door for me. So I gave the words to the behavior. And it was like magic because the kids were like, what she is talking about, what she is doing. At the beginning, they didn't understand, but slowly they start to imitate the behavior of others. And slowly, they start to talk about it. Did you see I was patient because I didn't interfere the conversation? Did you see I was courage? I had courage because I taste something that I normally don't like to taste. So I give so many examples, and children in this era are so intelligent. This was amazing. They just picked it up so quickly that I was amazed. And the colleagues slowly start to ask, what are you doing here? There is so much peace in the kindergarten. And it start to, like little waves start to spread around. And I start to train other colleagues of me around me.
I mean, that's extraordinary, really, because all that changed was a shift in your attention and
Yeah.
what you were focusing on, and then you were naming it. And isn't that a brilliant example of how each of us can affect the environment that we're living and working in just by noticing the goodness in other people and holding it in your thoughts and maybe mentioning it as well, and drawing attention. So in a way, you were teaching the children to be emotionally articulate, to notice behaviors and emotions and values as they came up, and giving them vocabulary to be able to name that.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
how quickly did they then include all of those new words and attitudes into their consciousness, their day-to-day living?
First of all, just to say that before, it's not that I did not give compliments and uplift, but what I used to say as I learned is, great, you're great, you did well, to cheer up.
Mm.
But when you name it, they understand what is great about the behavior, and then they want to do it because it makes them feel good. Yeah, so what was the second part of the...
So you're giving them a new language
Yeah,
to name this new way of thinking.
yeah.
And bringing it into their conscious awareness. There's a little clip that you've provided for us, which, Sister Ranjan, I hope we've got it, that we can play it in. Is that going to be possible, your
Yeah,
end?
I will. Yeah, if you can play the clip of the 3-minute one to show, this is like after a few months of working with them, how they express themselves. Yeah, it will give a
Okay,
good.
okay. Can we
Thank
play the
you.
longer one, Ranjan, the
Yeah,
3-minute
this
one? Is
one.
that
Yeah.
possible?
יש בנו פרחים זה סגולות. פרחים זה דבר טוב, וגם סגולות זה דבר טוב.
כשאתה משחק בקוביות, באיזה סגולות אתה צריך להשתמש? חברות. שיתוף פעולה. למה אתה צריך אהבה כשאתה משחק בקוביות?
כי אני צריך לאהוב במקום לכעוס.
איזה סגולות חיזקת בעצמך מתחילת השנה? משהו שהיה חלש בתחילת השנה וראית שלאט לאט זה הלך והתחזק. אהבה. מה הכוונה? איך זה קרה?
זה גדל וגדל.
איך זה גדל?
מלא.
אח שלך גל, איזה סגולה יש בו שהיא יותר חזקה מאשר אצלך? תנסה לזהות.
שמחה, אהבה ומתיקות. מתיקות.
יש בו מתיקות. איך אתה מרגיש את המתיקות שלו?
הוא נותן לי את כל המתיקות ממישהו, נותן לי חיבוקים ונשיקות וכל מיני דברים.
משהו קרה לילדים בשפה. השפה שלהם השתנתה. הם הביאו את השפה הזאת הביתה. ההורים התחילו לשמוע את השפה הזאת ולא הבינו מה קורה. והיום אנחנו מקבלים הרבה מאוד משובים שהורים רוצים לעבוד גם בבית עם התוכנית הזאת. והורים מתארים פלאים שקורים להם בבית עם הילדים בעקבות החשיפה לתוכנית.
את יכולה לתת לי דוגמה לקוצים?
להגיד, למשל להגיד, אני יותר טוב ממך.
זה קוץ. ואת יכולה לתת לי דוגמה לפרחים כשאני משתמשת בפרחים שלי?
אם מישהו לא מצליח, להגיד לו, לא נורא, תנסה שוב, אולי תצליח הפעם.
איזה כוח את מרגישה שאת עדיין צריכה לחזק?
אני עדיין צריכה לחזק את החוכמה ואת השלווה.
ומה קורה לכוח שאתה משתמש בו הרבה?
מתחזק.
איך הוא מתחזק?
אם אתה נותן אותו לאחרים, הוא לא כמו במבה.
מה זאת אומרת?
הוא נשאר בתוכך, הוא לא יכול לרדת שוב.
הוא נשאר בתוכך ומה קורה לו?
רק מתחזק, הוא לא יכול לרדת, הוא רק מתחזק.
אז אני רואה את התוכנית כתוכנית שמאפשרת למה שקיים לעלות על פני השטח. אני לא מביאה שום דבר חדש. החוכמה תמונה בילדים ויש בהם המון המון חוכמה פנימית.
Beautiful words coming out of the mouths of such young children. I love the scene where they were passing around the heart-shaped golden cushion. That was lovely. And that boy at the end saying, the more you give it away, it won't reduce in you. They clearly understood very deeply the qualities and the values and how they work. You mentioned in that video the parents. Did the parents tell you that they noticed differences in their children?
Definitely, immediately. Parents came to me and started to tell me, my children, when I'm cooking, he come to me and she said, Mom, you are cooking with so much peace. Or another parents came to me and she said, you know, I was talking with my husband and the child came to the husband and said, Dad, you should listen to Mom with more respect. So actually they start to give kind of mirroring and they was like amazed. One mother came to me and she said, you know, she was kind of very upset. She came to me and she said, you know, my child came to me and he told me, Mom, you always talk with me with thorns. What does he mean? So I told her, come, let's talk about it. And then when we talk about the kid, that he was very, very hyperactive, she said, he right. I don't listen to him. I just don't listen to him. I don't have any patience to him. He's so much overwhelming. So I told her, you know what you have to do? Just when he talk, kneel down and just listen to him and just move your face that you listen. In 3 weeks, the child changed completely. And she came to me and she told me, I want to learn what you know. Because she was also a teacher, I want to learn what you know. So she went to the course with us again, and it was like so many stories about parents. And actually the parents was starting writing letters to the municipality to move it forward, this project. There was our messenger. The little kid was our messengers, actually.
And didn't one of the children say to you that you should teach the adults as well?
Yeah, Yeah, one of the conversation with them was so deep and so touching. It was amazing because their purity, and one of the kids in one of the conversations said, "Vered, you have to teach the adults what you teach us." And I said, "It will happen. It will happen." And by the year, it happened.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because
And
we start very small, and then we shared, and it was like, slowly it became a project all over the country.
so how did that expansion grow? And at what point did your kindergarten supervisors realize that this was something special?
So the voices reached to my supervisor, and all of a sudden one day she came to the kindergarten and she said, "I heard you do something very special here." I said, "Yeah, welcome." So I took her around. So she said, the kids are very calm. It's very nice. What do you do?" So I show her a wall with the words happiness, consistency, courage, whatever. And she said, "Oh no, these are too abstract words for children. It's too much." So I told her, "Fine, no problem. Come to the conversation. Sit with us." After 20 minutes of hearing the kids as what you heard them, she came to me, she said, "My jaw dropped. This won't stay here. You're gonna deliver it outside." And then she started to support me and my colleague, one more colleague that was working with me, and they gave us some training how to create a full curriculum program of 30 hours training. Yeah. So I didn't
So,
approach them, they come to.
mm,
And again, it's the children and the parents who was the messengers.
and so how do you run those workshops for adults? How do they work?
So now we are in the education department. We have a kind of course. Whoever wants can sign up to the course. This specific program is for young until age 8, something from 3 to 8. So we deliver the tools. Basically, what we are doing with teacher is not teaching them how to to treat the children. Basically, what we are doing in their program, 30 hours, is awareness and self awareness and well being. We practice a bit of silence. We practice a bit of way how to speak to children, how to see them in their goodness, the same what I share with you. And also, they go to their places and very fast there is a very fast effect. So they are very motivated to continue on their way.
Mm,
And it's very open. They can do whatever they want. It's not like a very rigid program. We just give the basic of positivity. An example, because children, they don't learn from talking. Children learn from being a good example in front of them much more.
mm. We've talked about children and we've talked about adults, but of course there's a cohort in the middle, the teenagers,
Yeah.
who are in a way at the coal face of what is happening in the world
Yeah.
and growing into a world that is in such a place of distress
Yeah,
and
yeah,
where they're not seeing those values at all in society and in the world around them. And it's so tough growing up and becoming a member of the world as it is now. Do you have any ideas for how we can support our young adults? I think we've got someone who's got their microphone open. Can you just everyone check your microphones? Thank you. Yeah, carry on, Vered.
yeah, you're right. First of all, the teenager is a very sad.
Uh, okay, I think it's
Yeah,
stopped now.
yeah, thank you.
Mm,
So, yeah, you're right. Teenager nowadays, it's very, very challenging, including Corona, including wars. What is going with this world? They are very, very confused. And by that time, they became very cynical already. If I'll come to them with the project, they will maybe won't even want to accept it because they see the world and with clear eyes. So that's why we emphasize on the young age children, because they get the tools and they become messengers. When they grow up, they have the seeds that they got from childhood emerge. And I get also feedback from parents that were of children that was in our kindergarten. If they meet me, they said, you know, what you gave the children leads them onwards and sustain them and support them, even though life is tough. And also they said it creates such a beautiful environment in the house because we have a very beautiful communication way to each other. Yeah.
So that in a way does support them through their teenage years. Yeah.
Sorry?
So what they've experienced in the kindergarten does support them through their
In a
teenage
way.
years as
In
well.
a way.
In a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I do really notice how hard it is for the young adults to make their way in this world at this time. And, you know, what you're offering as an experience for these, you know, kindergarten children, they have that in them, and they can draw on that, as we said, as they go through these difficult times. So let's just talk briefly about, you know, what is life like for these kindergarten children on a day-to-day basis, and how do you see them coping with it?
You're talking about this situation of the last 2.5, 3 years of war.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Imagine children. It doesn't matter which country even, it doesn't matter. Imagine children that have to wake up during the night and run down to the bomb shelter. Imagine children that are looking at the sky and they're afraid that something would follow them because people are talking about missile. Imagine. It's very, very hard. So I could see how they shifted. Fear came, anxieties, anger, different behavior influence from the situation around. But yet, even though I could see how the tools we gave them in the kindergarten was helping them. Can I share one story or two stories? Because
Please
stories
do.
is
Yeah.
okay, so way at the beginning of the war, we were in a lockdown. I myself was very confused. You know, we can't see the children, they can't see us. We have Zoom kind of, and the situation. We can't go out of the home. We have to run to bomb shelters. So one evening, I got a call from a father, and he said, Vered, Ronnie wants to speak with you. I said, okay. So I took Ronnie and I said, yes, Ronnie, how are you? How are you doing? She said, Vered, I want to share something with you. I said, yes. She said, you know, last night there was the alarm going on very strongly. My dad took me and he ran down to the stair very, very fast. And I was so scared. I was shivering. And I told her, wow, thank you for sharing. Actually, I was also very afraid. It's not a comfortable feeling. So what did you do? So she told me, you know, I took my dog, I hugged him, and I went into silence like you taught us in the gun.
In the kindergarten.
Yeah, in the kindergarten. And also now in the last phase also of the war, I just started the work. I hardly knew the kids, and there was not bomb shelter in the kindergarten where I was supposed to work. So they took all the group in order to protect us. They put us in a school in a third floor somewhere in one class, and it's like, you know, imagine 35 kids. They just took them, they put them somewhere. I don't know the kids. It was a mess. It was really a mess. Like, how can you hold all this, even though I have a system? So luckily, I'm a meditator. So I went back home and I sat on meditation and I asked myself and God, I said, how can I support them? What can I do to calm them? They are so nervous. And the thought came to me, just be in your peace and smile. Just be in your peace and smile. So I went back to work, which was like, and I started to I went out of the class, took peaceful and get into the class, take peace and get into the class. And slowly, slowly, the kids start to come close to me. And I'm drawing and they come. And they start to lean, and I was smiling. This is talking very softly. And they come to me and they said, Vered, you are beautiful. I said, really? I'm beautiful? I'm not putting any makeup, no jewelry, nothing. I said, really? I'm beautiful? Why do you think so? And they said, because you are smiling all the time. And then I realized that it's my vibration. It's the most important because anxiety and fear, they feel it. They're so sensitive to those energies. So basically, I sustain myself and them through just going into peace more and more, more and more. And slowly, slowly, they start to feel safe and come close.
Because it's not just the words that you use, it's your energy, which children are so good at reading.
Yeah.
They can look at your energy and know what is true from your energy. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, there is a very beautiful video that one of my colleagues did during the war, which we couldn't see the children. So she sent them a task. She said, okay, children, think for yourself. What virtue, what value support you now in those days where you are locked in the home and there is war going on? Choose a toy that you like and write it down, take a picture and send it to me. And she collect all the pictures and she create a beautiful video about it. So maybe we can see it because this really show the purity, the innocence, and what they take from us for their life.
Let's have a look at this video now.
Yeah, just 1 second before, the song was composed by one of the mother that was really attracted to this program, and she composed it and she sang it and she sent it to us as a gift. Yeah, we can see it.
לכל אחד מאיתנו זה מאוד חשוב לראות את האחר וגם להיות אהוב. הכוח, הכוח, הכוח לפרוח, הכוח, הכוח לגדול וגם לצמוח. לכל אחד סגולות איתנו מתגבר, לפתור כל בעיה ולעזור גם לחבר. הכוח, הכוח, הכוח לפרוח, הכוח, הכוח לגדול וגם לצמוח. ביחד בשמחה נפתח כאן את הלב, ואז האהבה תגדל ותתרחב. הכוח, הכוח, הכוח לפרוח, הכוח, הכוח לגדול וגם לצמוח. הכוח, הכוח, הכוח לפרוח, הכוח, הכוח. לכל אחד מאיתנו זה מאוד חשוב לראות את האחר וגם להיות אהוב. הכוח, הכוח, הכוח לפרוח, הכוח, הכוח לגדול וגם לצמוח. לכל אחד סגולות איתנו מתגבר, לפתור כל בעיה ולעזור גם לחבר. הכוח, הכוח, הכוח לפרוח, הכוח, הכוח, לגדול וגם לצמוח.
Absolutely gorgeous. I love the one with you're muted, Verd. The Barbie dolls and the little bars of chocolate, and also the socks, spelling the words there in Hebrew. And what beautiful children! They seem to be doing really well.
I think again, if we give them the safe environment and good sustenance, and also we instruct the parents, don't download on them your heaviness, don't download on them what happened in the world. Keep them safe, because those little children, they are the ambassadors of the future. We see what the adults are doing.
Yeah. So, what would your advice be to anyone who has young adults or children in their lives? How to use the teachings of Raj Yoga, which you've been studying for 20 years and very beautifully integrated into the work that you've been doing in the kindergarten with the living values? What advice if someone is inspired to follow this and do something?
You know, when I came, can I share one more story? Because
Please.
stories were, when I came to the Raj Yoga course, I wasn't very, positive anymore. I was seeing the world and I was like, oh, I want to leave this job and whatever. And I start Raj Yoga and immediately I was attracted to the vibration. But the teacher said that the Brahma Kumari said, when you change, the world change. What a big statement. And I said, how can it be when I change, the world change? How can it be? What's the connection? So actually, I prove myself, because when I start to change, the circles around me start to change, and the influence of the education environment start to change, etc., etc. So I'll share one story, because not everything was, open easily to me. At the very beginning, when I just start with this language and I gave them music and we created activities, kind of relaxation, 1 minute of silence. We call it a look of love, just to watch each other with I gave them different tools at the beginning of the year. And one scene, I think in the first month, one scene, I'm in the playground with the children, and when I call them to come in, two children are really, really fighting, really like banging each other, and I had to just hold them and separate, and it took so much energy for me, and I was like really upset and even shaking in my body. So I said to myself, Vered, forget it. Forget it. You think very ideology, just forget it, see what happened. Anyway, we closed the day. They are sitting with me, and I'm sitting in front of them, hopeless, with my hopeless feeling. And normally I'm singing, I'm sharing stories or whatever, to close the day. And I'm like, I can't do anything. I just was very transparent to them. What happened before, I just don't have the energy to do anything with you. So those little kids, very beginning of the year, 5, 4.5 years old, they look at me like, what happened to the master, So I see their faces very sad, and I said, what do you recommend me to do? How can I get out of this feeling? I did it very, very spontaneously. And one of the children lifted his hand and he said, maybe tell us a story. I said, I'm sorry. I can't tell a story when my heart is so close. I can't. Okay. I'm waiting. Another finger. Maybe we'll sing a song together. And I see how they are really. So I told them, when my heart is closed, I can't sing. I'm sorry. I can't. All of a sudden, one child that hardly spoke from the beginning of the year, hardly spoke, a girl. She lifted her hand and I said, yes. And she said, maybe you put the lovely music from the morning and we all give you love through our eyes.
Oh,
And I said, oh, that's a good idea. Let's try it. I put the music, very soft music, and I go one by one. And every time I share this story, I have goose pimples. They filled me with love. They filled me with love. I went one by one. I nearly was in tears. And I said, at the end, I said, oh my God, it's gone. It's gone. Thank you. You helped me. It's gone. And then I came back to myself. So it was really on life how to show them how you can be in this stage or in other stage. And it's up to us and the support of the others.
what a beautiful story. We should offer you as a negotiator for the peace talks that are going on at the moment. I think that could be quite interesting to
Yeah,
give
1 minute of
give
time.
love through the eyes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm curious how things have been for you personally, because you mentioned that the atmosphere in the classroom has changed because the
I miss
children are
one word.
okay.
How thing been per
How
se?
things have been for you personally.
Personally.
Personally,
Yeah.
because you mentioned that the classroom has become harder because the children coming through have got more issues and complications. And you're trying to do all this against a backdrop of, missiles. How have you personally sustained yourself through that? And has it reduced your hope and enthusiasm for life?
Not for a moment. On the contrary. Through all these 20 years, which I become also a teacher of Raja Yoga, I know this is truth and we have to hold the truth. So I maintain myself. It's morning meditation, it's taking classes, it's practicing, because if I'm not sustaining myself, the stage goes down. So I won't say that fear is not around sometimes, but I can monitor it and I can calm down and go very quickly to my peaceful stage. I have tools and hopefully I give some of the tools to those children. We don't say meditation, we don't say awareness, we just use words like thorn, flowers, open heart, close heart, and they get it. They get it. Positivity, negativity, finish. There is nothing in between. So I do my best to maintain myself in this positive side. Thank you for the Raj Yoga. It really saved my life. 100%
Wow.
saved my life. Yeah. And I'm very, and I'm enjoying work now. It's not like there are challenges, obviously, but I have tools. I can manage myself differently.
Mhm. And you're now working as a consultant for parents.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Actually, from all the experience that I picked up through this all 30 years and this Power to Blossom project, I took so much tools to myself. So now I train parents, because when kids are misbehaved, not always, but a lot of the time, when they are misbehaved, is because they react to negativity atmosphere. So what I do with the parents, I do also awareness work. Awareness was I also bring them back to their inner peace, inner awareness, how to see goodness, how to talk goodness. It's not like we don't put borders and sometimes we have to be disciplined. We also use this, but most of the time, the atmosphere is positive communication, well-being, sustaining well-being. So, and that's what I do with the parents. When they change their habits, it affects the kids and they're happy.
such valuable work, because parenting is such a tough job anyway, and trying to answer questions about what is happening in the world because they pick up on things. It's very hard to answer those questions with integrity. But you're offering a solution for anyone, which is to stay connected to your own inner peace and to just keep smiling. Two very beautiful, practical suggestions. If anyone has got a question that they would like to give to Vered, please put your question in the chat box, or if we have a microphone in the hall, please do come and ask your question to Vered. Maybe a question about your own children, grandchildren, young people in your life. There's a wealth of experience here that Vered has that she can share with you. So please do ask your questions. Sometimes it takes a while for the microphone to set up. Whilst we're waiting for that.
If you want, I can share one more story.
Yeah, always love
that
your
was
stories.
at the
But
beginning.
go.
At the beginning, you saw the video of the children talking. It's just a very small from a very much larger video, but the child that was saying, I learned to love instead of being angry. I have permission from the mother to share his story because this child was brought to my kindergarten just about before they take him out of school and put him in a very special for bad behavior child. He was really, really violent, and it's really was very hard to handle him. And with the tools that I shared, slowly, slowly, he calmed down, he calmed down, he calmed down, he relaxed. And he became such a flower, such a jewel. He became the leader of the group, actually. And now I met his parents, his mother, not long ago in the supermarket, and she said, he is such a jewel. And we discovered that this child was, I don't know how to say, very, very, very high in
IQ.
IQ, very high.
IQ.
Yeah. So this little child, he just didn't know how to manage his life with this high Q. And slowly, slowly, I put him in. And this project, actually, many kids brought to our kindergarten in order to see if they can manage this. Stay. If not, they are out. And there is beautiful stories around it.
So there's always hope.
Yeah. And I love the statement that he said, I learned to love instead of being angry. That's what he said. Yeah. So
I mean, sometimes it's the ones that are the hardest when they're little that transform and become real examples when they're older. Right, the questions are beginning to come in now, but I think we've got someone who's going to ask their own question at Depasyadam.
Hello, thank you. Really good information. This is Leah out here in Pilot Point. Thank you for this awesome event. Question is, working with young kids, beautiful, and we do have teenagers, and we're in the United States, and I work in the school system and sometimes with parents who have juveniles in the jail juvenile system. So how can we as educators, or me as an educator to parents, use the Raj Yoga approach to help families who've been that systemic space of hardship and stress and not knowing these things that you're trying to really reinforce in this system, what you're doing with the kindergarteners. But now we have teenagers who've been in these systems for a long time.
I hope I understood the question well. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's asking about children who have been excluded because of bad behavior and are being educated separately, and it's very hard for them to find any positivity and the adults to find any positivity. How, in these extreme cases, can you bring about some of what you're talking about?
Again, it's depend what sustenance and how they hold them. If they continue to do the same like they did in the school, they won't improve. But if they will get slowly a different approach and work in on their well-being and their inner awareness, they will change. I don't know if 100%, but it affect because at least someone see them differently. It's very hard to maintain life when you always being criticized, being blamed that you are not good, you're not good, you're not good. How can they change? It will become even worse because that's what they tell us. But if the system will create something different that hold them differently, I'm sure changes there will come. I'm sure, but
That
it's
is
a
the
program.
critical thing, though.
It's not. Sorry.
That's the critical thing, is having an adult in their life who will see them with that positive vision.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case.
It's also a matter of fortune,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that question. Other questions coming in. How do you give the Raj Yoga course to a 15-year-old who is going through their sort of teenage phase? And how do you work with young adults who are addicted to their gaming and to their computers and their phones?
Yeah. Generally, in the Raj Yoga course, we don't work with teenagers. We don't work. We work with 18 plus when unless their parents bring them and they go through the process with them, with their permission. But children, the Raja Yoga start from 18 when you are adult and you are self-sovereign to decide what's good for you. The power to blossom is working for the education system with children. And basically with the power to blossom, we don't work with teenager because I'm a kindergarten teacher and the program we create is from 3 to 8. But this project can work until 18, but you need to adjust it to the level of the children, to the age.
But another question that has come in is that at that age, teenagers don't like the advice they're being given by parents because they want to rebel and do things their own way. And they won't take your advice. They won't listen to you. I suppose in that situation, all you can do is become an example of the behavior that you feel. Yeah.
Definitely. It's the most important thing is the vibration. If I see my child, even mentally, that he's bad and he's not good and he's rebellion, he picked it up from my vibration. But if I'm working on myself and I learn to see the soul and I learn to see the pain and the suffering of the soul in front of me, not my son, he is going through a process, then he will pick up a different kind of vibration. And he won't be so aggressive, maybe. And also one recommendation that I learned is we are talking way too much with children and with adults. We try to educate them, to hold them, to control them. We don't need to talk too much because what they are doing, they shut down their ability to listen. But if we talk softly, sweetly, and very little, there is a chance they will listen.
So stop giving advice, basically.
You can when he's able to hold the advice. When he's not, it's just a waste of energy and time and just create more tension. Who wants to be given advice? Who wants to be given criticism always? Who wants? None of us. So just be in their shoes and feel and understand. But again, the Raj Yoga learning help us to control our impulses, to say something, to do something. It helps us to maintain a state of mind, more stable state of mind. Yeah, it gives us-
And you were saying earlier that you don't point out all the things that they're doing wrong, but you do point out when they do something that is good. And so you reinforce that by noticing it and saying the quality that you noticed when they did that. It works the same for teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's not that I don't put border when someone cross line or become violent, but I don't do it first in front of everybody. I respect, so I call him separately. I lean down, I talk very softly, and I don't threat on him. I give him a sense of I'm with you. I want to go through this with you. It's a different approach than to criticize in front of everybody. So we learn, if you want to say good things, say it in front of everybody. If you want to do some, let's say, educating the child, just take it aside and do it with him personally. And then they appreciate it.
So what might be a final question, do you have the same phenomenon of addiction to social media and all the negative impact of social
Everything,
media on young people?
Everything that you have, we have, even worse, because when they cannot go to school, they cannot go with their friend, what they are doing in their homes, what they are doing, how they share their time, it's very difficult.
So how do you mitigate against the negativity that they're exposed to?
What is mitigate?
How do you lessen the impact?
That's what I'm saying. Lessen the impact is to create your own vibration, which is
Okay.
peaceful vibration.
Okay.
And then to influence, when some of the students said, when I'm going to a bomb shelter with all the neighbors and I'm sitting quietly, they relax. They relax. They give evidence about it and said, first of all, I'm not panicking, but slowly, slowly it affects on the others.
Wow. I mean, I think, anyone listening to your stories and thinking of the backdrop of what is happening in Israel and parenting in that very challenging situation, I think we don't have any reason to complain about what we're experiencing when, you're going through what you're going through. But the message is very simple. Become the solution yourself, become the embodiment of peace and calm, and that vibration will touch them and reach them, and keep noticing the qualities and the virtues, and that's what will grow into a flower, rather than noticing the thorns. Thank you, Vered, so much. We're going to ask you just to close with just a few minutes of meditation, and then we'll leave. But thank you. If you could just share with us a few thoughts of meditation.
Yeah. So again, thank you for the opportunity, and I wish well to everybody. No borders, no hatred, nothing. None of us like it, but we can influence the change to come. So we sit comfortably, just draw our attention inside. I never gave meditation in English, so I'll do my best. It will happen. Okay. Just draw your attention slowly inside. Breathe softly. If you feel any tension in your body, just breathe and relax the body, because the body is my companion. He supports me so much. So this is the time to give him some attention, to support him, because I, the soul, I am the master of this body. So sometimes there is tension, there is upheaval, and the body reacts. But me, the soul, I'm beyond. I remember at that moment that I'm a peaceful soul, powerful soul. And I'm not alone. I'm never alone. I can draw the power of the Supreme to feel more safe, more secure. And I tell myself, I am a peaceful soul. Peace is my inner being. These few moments are like water, fresh water for the soul, refreshing, empowering, bringing me back to my truth. I have the power to handle everything. That's why I'm doing my best to take a bit of time to sustain the inner beauty, the inner self, to refresh. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.